Let's begin our journey into the amazing world of learning English while sleeping. All right, now let's talk a little bit about what happens to our brain when we sleep. Understanding this will help you see why sleep can be a good time for learning. When we go to sleep, our brain doesn't just stop working. In fact, it stays very busy. It does many important jobs like cleaning out bad chemicals, organizing our memories, and helping our body to heal. There are different stages of sleep. One important stage is called deep sleep. During deep sleep, your body is resting a lot, but your brain is working to move new information into your long-term memory. This means it is saving things you learned during the day. It's like putting important files into a safe folder on your computer. Another stage is called light sleep. During light sleep, your brain is a little more open. It can still hear sounds around you, like soft music or someone talking. Even though you are sleeping, your brain can still notice simple sounds and messages. This is why some scientists believe that listening to a new language, like English, during sleep can help you. Your brain is relaxed, but it can still catch simple words and sounds. It's not the same as studying when you are awake, but it can still help your memory grow stronger. Pretty amazing, right? Our brain is like a superhero that never stops working, even when we are sleeping. Now that we know what the brain does during sleep, let's move to the next question. Is it really possible to learn English while sleeping? Let's find out. Now, you might be wondering, can we really learn anything while we're sleeping? Well, the answer is a little bit tricky. But don't worry, I'll explain it in simple terms. Here's what science tells us. Some studies show that while we sleep, our brain can actually process things we learned earlier that day. This is called memory consolidation. It means our brain takes what we learned while awake and moves it into our long-term memory while we sleep. But here's the important part. We can't learn everything while sleeping. It's not like you can put on an English audiobook while you sleep and suddenly speak perfect English the next morning. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. But don't worry. Even though we can't learn everything, there are some things we can learn more easily while we sleep. For example, vocabulary words. If you listen to new words or phrases while sleeping, your brain can help store them in your memory. Listening skills. Your brain can still hear and recognize simple English sounds or conversations, helping you improve your understanding of the language. There's a little secret here. Our brain is very good at remembering patterns. So, if you listen to English in a calm and repetitive way, your brain might start to recognize the patterns in the language. It's like hearing a song you like over and over. At first, you don't know the words, but after a while, you start to recognize them. This is similar to how we can learn English while sleeping. However, active learning like speaking or grammar study needs to happen when you are awake and focused. You can't expect to become fluent just by listening to English while sleeping, but using sleep as a tool to support your learning can make a big difference. So, is it possible to learn English while you sleep? Yes, in a way. It's not magic, but it's a helpful tool to strengthen what you already know and to learn new vocabulary and listening skills. All right, now let's get into the how-to part. I'm going to give you some easy steps to help you learn English while you sleep. Are you ready? Let's go. 1. Prepare your material. The first thing you need is the right material what you're going to listen to. Start by choosing simple English audio that matches your level. It could be something like a vocabulary list with words you want to learn, a short English conversation, or a relaxing English podcast with slow, clear speech. The key is to choose something simple and clear so your brain can easily process the words. Don't choose anything too difficult or fast. You want the English to be easy to understand, even when you're asleep. You can also make your own recordings. Record the words or sentences you want to learn. You can say them slowly and clearly, then play it back while you sleep. This way, you hear the exact voice and words you want to practice. 2. Set up your environment. Now, let's talk about the environment. Make sure your room is quiet and comfortable for sleeping. If there's too much noise or light, your brain might have trouble focusing on the English you want to learn. Use headphones or a speaker to play your audio, but keep the volume very low. You don't need to hear everything perfectly. Your brain will still catch some words, even if the sound is soft. Some people like to use sleep headphones, which are special headphones designed to be comfortable when you lie down. They're really good if you want to make sure the audio plays clearly without being too loud. 3. Timing is important. When should you start your English audio? It's best to start it just before you fall asleep. You can set the audio to play for about 30 minutes or even an hour. By that time, your brain will start to relax and enter deep sleep, and it will be ready to absorb the sounds and words. If you listen for longer, the audio will continue in the background as you sleep, helping your brain work on the new words or phrases you've been hearing. 4. Consistency is key. The most important thing to remember is consistency. Just like learning English during the day, learning while you sleep requires time. If you want to see results, try listening to English every night. The more you do it, the better your brain will get at remembering and understanding the words. But remember, don't expect to become fluent right away. It takes time, and the progress will be slow but steady. Create a relaxing routine. You can also use this sleep learning method as part of a relaxing bedtime routine. Here's a great idea. Start by listening to calming music or a peaceful story in English. Then, when you're ready to sleep, turn on your English audio. Avoid looking at your phone or screens right before bed, because the light from the screen can make it harder to sleep. This routine will help you not only improve your English, but also have better quality sleep. 6. Use positive affirmations. Here's an interesting trick. You can listen to positive English affirmations while you sleep. These are short, encouraging sentences like, I am learning English every day. I am getting better at English every day. I believe in myself and my ability to learn. These affirmations are simple and positive, and they can help you feel confident about your English journey. Listening to them while you sleep can motivate your brain to work harder while you rest. 7. Track your progress. Over time, keep track of what you've been learning. Maybe you want to track the new words you hear in your sleep, or notice any changes in how much English you understand when you're awake. This will keep you motivated and help you see the small improvements you're making. Now that you know how to learn English while sleeping, let's talk about the Braillefies, best types of content you should listen to while you rest. Here are a few ideas. 1. Vocabulary lists. If you're just starting to learn English, listening to vocabulary lists is a great option. These lists can include common words, phrases, or even themes like food, family, or travel. When you hear these words repeated while you sleep, your brain will start to recognize them. 2. Simple conversations. Another great choice is simple English conversations. Look for short dialogues or friendly chats between two people. Choose conversations that are slow and easy to follow, with clear pronunciation. This helps your brain get used to hearing English in a natural, everyday context. 3. Positive English affirmations. As I mentioned earlier, positive affirmations are also very effective. These are encouraging, simple sentences like, "I can learn English. I am improving every day." These affirmations help to build your confidence while you sleep, giving your brain a boost in the right direction. Lastly, consider listening to a relaxing English podcast. There are many podcasts designed to help you relax while still using English. These podcasts usually speak slowly and clearly, making them perfect for sleep learning. You can find podcasts focused on meditation, stories, or calming sounds in English. So, when you choose what to listen to while you sleep, think about what's going to be relaxing and easy for your brain to process. Now that you know the best content to use, let's move on to the next section, where we'll talk about what you should not expect. From learning English in your sleep. Now, let's talk about what you should not expect when learning English during sleep. While sleep learning is a helpful tool, there are some things you can't expect to happen right away, or even at all. 1. You won't become fluent overnight. First, you won't suddenly become fluent in English overnight just by listening to audio while you sleep. I know it would be amazing if that were true, but unfortunately, learning a language takes time and practice. Sleep learning is a support tool that helps you remember vocabulary or improve listening skills, but it's not a magical shortcut to fluency. 2. You won't learn complex grammar. Second, you won't learn complicated grammar just by listening at night. For example, listening to English while you sleep won't teach you the difference between the past simple and present perfect tenses. Active learning, like studying grammar rules and practicing speaking, is still necessary for that kind of progress. 3. You can't rely on sleep learning alone. Finally, you can't rely on sleep learning alone to become good at English. It's best when combined with other methods like reading, speaking, and practicing during the day. Sleep learning should be a supplement, not your only way of studying. 4. It won't work for everyone. Some people might not feel like they're learning much during sleep, and that's okay. Everyone's brain is different. If you don't notice results right away, don't be discouraged. The key is to keep trying and stay consistent with your learning. So, to sum up, you won't become fluent overnight. You won't learn complex grammar. You can't rely on sleep learning alone, and it may not work the same for everyone. With this in mind, let's move on to our last section where I'll share some final tips and motivation to keep you going. Now, before we finish today's episode, let me give you some final tips to help you make the most of your sleep learning journey. And of course, some motivation to keep you going. 1. Stay patient. The most important thing is to stay patient. Remember, learning a language takes time. Sleep learning is a small but useful tool, so don't expect overnight results. Be kind to yourself and keep going, even if you don't notice big changes right away. 2. Be consistent. Consistency is the key to success. Try to listen to English every night, even if it's just for 20 or 30 minutes. The more you do it, the more your brain will get used to the sounds and words, and the better your results will be over time. 3. Combine sleep learning with active practice. While sleep learning is great, don't forget to practice actively during the day. Speak English, read books, write sentences, and watch videos in English. Use your waking hours to actively practice what you've learned while you sleep. 4. Believe in small progress. Every little bit counts. Even if you only learn a few new words or understand a little more English each day, that's progress. Celebrate the small victories because they all add up to big results over time. 5. Keep motivated. And finally, stay motivated. Learning English is a journey, and it's okay if it takes time. Believe in yourself and trust that each day you are getting better. You are doing great. So, keep listening to English, keep practicing, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. I hope you now feel inspired to try learning English while you sleep. Remember, it's a fun and helpful tool that you can add to your routine. And if you ever feel frustrated, just remember, small progress is still progress. Don't forget to come back next time for more tips and motivation to help you on your English learning journey. Sleep well, learn well, and I'll talk to you soon. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned some useful tips about how to use sleep to improve your English skills. Remember, learning a language is a journey, and every step counts, even while you're asleep. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Also, feel free to share this episode with your friends who are learning English too. The more, the merrier. If you have any questions or feedback, you can always reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep practicing, stay motivated, and keep believing in yourself. Sleep well, learn well, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.